Many of you have your makeup routine nailed down to a T. You use the same shadow every day, you go in the same order, but how do you know if the shadow and the liner that you're pulling out of your cosmetic bag is really the most flattering? While it's easy to keep pulling out the same shadow and doing the same routine, I'm going to urge you to experiment a little and create different makeup looks and different maybe shades that you haven't thought about or you haven't tried. Things that maybe will accentuate your unique, beautiful eyes. In today's video, I am going to share a few options that will hopefully make your eyes pop with color. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me start by sort of reminiscing or going back to maybe the most enjoyable creative class that you've ever had. And it would be maybe an elementary school art class. Do you remember the color wheel? So to start, on this color wheel, we have three basic colors, right? We have red, we have blue, we have yellow. And when you mix those primary colors, you get secondary colors. So if you mix red and blue, you get purple, and that is a secondary color. When you mix blue and yellow, you get green, a secondary color. Now, if you mix a primary color with a secondary color, you're going to get the tertiary colors. So mixing blue and green, you're going to sort of get like maybe a sea green shade. So that's kind of how it works. And typically, if you looking at the color wheel, if you look at it, let me just get mine up here. When you look at it, let's say you have green eyes. So the very opposite of green is going to be on this color wheel, it's going to be sort of the plummy purple shades. That's the best color for people with green eyes. If you have blue eyes, so if you look towards the bottom, so there's different shades of blue, but if you have blue eyes, brown is going to make them pop. So just kind of looking at this. Now, let's say my mom has sort of bluish gray eyes. So you can see that how these different hues, if you look directly across, how they might complement or make your eyes pop. Now, before we get started in specific shades for specific eye colors that I recommend, what I want you to know is if something is working for you, go with it. But consider trying some of these different shades. You may love a certain type of shadow or a certain shade, and for you, you feel like $100 million, then stay with that. But consider some of these different options, okay? So looking first at green eyes. Did you know that green eyes are the rarest eye color across all nationalities? If you have green eyes, you're probably already receiving some great compliments about them. I know my sister Kelly has green eyes, and people are always commenting about how beautiful her eyes are. So if I were to do my sister's eyes, I would choose shadows, again, looking at that color wheel, I would choose shadows maybe with a little bit of a red undertone, either different shades of plums or purples, and maybe some beautiful browns that have sort of that plummy color in it, I think would be super, super pretty. I wouldn't use any dark liners on her. I would either use sort of a charcoal liner because I think gray would also be beautiful on my sister's green eyes, or even a deep brown. No black, nothing crazy. I think those colors would really be the best for her. I also think peach would be really pretty. Again, it's those red undertones, and even though it might not be directly across, it's things with red undertones, so to speak. Again, I mentioned gray that I think would look really pretty on her. This is the Color Pop of Quartz palette, and I think this would have a great look on her. So it's kind of a plummy brown. This is sort of a deep charcoal. They have some shimmer shades in here. I think this would be really, really pretty on green eyes. Another one that I think, so oftentimes, like if you have green eyes and maybe they're lighter green, go with a darker shade of green. I think that would be really, really pretty. This ABH palette, I've pulled this out a number of times and I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. It has a lot of the different tones we're talking about. It has some of the deeper khaki color green. It has some of the reddish, kind of like a brick color. And it has this beautiful, this is a gorgeous shimmer shade. I think it would look really, really pretty on my sister. So those would be two palettes that I would pick out for her, I think. But again, green eyes, they already pop all on their own, but consider that. A peach color, like I said, gray, I think would be really pretty. The next color, eyes, would be blue. So my mom has sort of a, I would call hers sort of a slate blue. And so she's really able to wear a lot of different colors with hers. She could wear blue, she could wear purple, she could wear pinks, she could even wear pinks. So peach would be beautiful on my mom. My best friend and her twin sister, Kathy and Christy, they have baby blue, gorgeous eyes. And if I were going to do their eyes, I would consider using a deeper eyeshadow hue that maybe mimics fall. I think that peach would be really, really, really pretty on them. Some browns, some sort of a smoky brown eye, I think would be pretty. I actually think that this palette would work really well. In fact, I've used this on Kathy before. I think that this looked absolutely beautiful, if I must say so myself. But burnt oranges, hints of gold, I think that would be beautiful. A shimmery peach or pink formula. And also for them, I would not use anything dark on their eyes for liner. I would use, again, a soft brown liner. I think that that would really make them pop. And also, the other thing that I think would be absolutely gorgeous on them is pinks, but also like a champagne shimmer all over their lid. This would be absolutely beautiful. I would mix it in with sort of that gold. Look how gorgeous that would be. So again, pinks I think would be beautiful. This is the Tartelette Juicy palette. I love that one. I also have another ColourPop palette that I would definitely use on Kathy and Christy. And this is, it has a lot of the purplies, but it has pinks, it has beautiful shimmer shades. I think this would be gorgeous on their eyes. I would put this shade, probably I'd mix these two and put that in the crease, and then maybe go with this darker sort of grayish slate color in the outer corner. I think that'd be really, really, really pretty. So again, those are some different options. But I also think for them, this pretty peachy, there's a whole bunch of different options. This is like a purpley pink color. I think that would be beautiful on them. Sort of this magenta, that's the color of the season, magenta. That would be beautiful on their outer V. I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. But again, baby pink, lavender, different shades of blue. So their eyes are baby blue. So I think I would go a little deeper blue on them. I think that would be really pretty. Okay, next up, Hazel. So you can see my eyes are, some days they're brown, some days they're sort of a hazel greeny shade. My dad had brown eyes. I told you my sister has green, so I feel like I might be a little bit in the middle of the two, like a brownish hazily color. But this eye shade for me, I feel like I can wear almost anything with brown. And certainly if I have, like neutral shades that I'm wearing, the brown really works well. But Hazel eyes, they have, sort of it's almost like a chameleon, which is what I'm describing on my eyes. So it could be brown with little specks of green, or it could be more green with specks of brown. That, you just never know what shade it's going to be, but different colors will bring out different parts of those elements, either the green or the brown. So for that, I think that plums would be gorgeous on Hazel eyes. So again, here's another ColourPop palette. I also think this would be really pretty on my mom. I want to do her makeup on camera, and I think I'm going to use this one for her blue eyes, but also Hazel. I think Hazel would be gorgeous with plummy colors. This palette is really, really pretty. The other palette I think I would use for somebody with hazel eyes, I actually really, really love this palette, and I use this a lot on my brown eyes. You can see it has some different shades of plum colors. This beautiful transition shade. This is sort of a peachy color, but you can see this would be really pretty. This is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette, and I think Hazel Eyes would be gorgeous with burgundy. And brown eyes. Now, brown eyes, I feel like, the shades are limitless with brown eyes. This would be a gorgeous palette, this Natasha Denona. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. I feel like that one I can use for so many different things. Another ABH palette that I think is great for brown eyes would be this one. It has a lot of neutral tones and just quite a nice variety. Let me see, what else do I have? Oh, of course, this. This is great for brown eyes. It's from NYX. It's the Ultimate palette, and I think this is in Ultimate Queen. And it has beautiful shades. It has the plum, or the purple. It has a plum. It has a mix of shimmer and matte shades. So this one is a definite. The Milani Gilded palettes, I have 3 of them here, and I feel like for me, with the brown and sometimes a little on the hazel side, any one of these goes great. So this one has a lot of the brown tones and the copper orangey colors. So for green eyes, this would be magnificent. It would be also great for blue eyes and brown eyes. So that's why I said this one's great. This one's a little bit lighter. It's a little more, some of the tones in here are just a little bit lighter. So blue eyes, I think that would be so pretty. And this last one, this is called the Wind Down. So this would be gorgeous on blue eyes. It would be gorgeous on brown eyes. So many of these different colors, these different palettes, a lot of times people will say, well, I think that plum really complements my color, my eyeshadow. Well, definitely, or my eye color, definitely use that plum shades, but think about putting a hint of something else in. And it could be a light shimmer shade, it could be a color. Just try to change it up a little bit. So oftentimes people will ask me, well, should I match my color of my clothes with my eyes? I say it depends. It really depends on what your eye color is and what you're wearing. You don't want it to be exactly the same in a monochromatic. Your eyes won't pop enough with that. You might want to use a little bit of whatever color you're wearing in your shadow look, but don't make it the main focus. So you know, give that some consideration. But again, really think about going outside your comfort zone, trying maybe some of these different shadows. I think that you will be delighted to see just a little bit different, just using some different things. Here's another ColourPop palette. This is Petals on Point, and it's a lot of lighter shades, but I use this with my brown eyes. I like to put this in my outer V, so I think that this is really pretty for many, many different eye shades. I just got this Rock palette in from the 21 Days of Beauty from Ulta, and this is very multi-dimensional. It's called the Pro palette, and it's, I think, for a reason, because if you are a makeup artist, this is a great canvas for so many different shades of eye color. So this is gorgeous. You know what, maybe I'll take this with me to Vegas, because that definitely has a whole bunch of different shades in it. But again, you do you. If you like a certain color, you know, go with it, but add a little hint of some other color with it. There's just so many different ways to wear eyeshadow and different looks that you can make. You've probably seen me with these Milani Gilded Minis on here before, and I like to use every single shade that's in here. They complement each other. I think that's what's great about these little mini palettes, and even some that are out by e.l.f. This one is called Rose Water, and all of these shades, they go really well together. Some are lighter, some are darker, some are gray, some are more plum. So using every shade in a little palette, when you have these little palettes, give it a whirl. You know, it's fun to experiment with eyeshadow. I think it's my favorite thing to apply when I'm doing my makeup is the eyeshadow, because, you know, the world is your oyster. There's so many different colors that you can choose from. So step outside your comfort zone and give a different shadow look a try. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will have all of the different palettes that I mentioned listed below. They will have affiliate links. Some of them will help my channel. So if you order from those links in the description box, I will make a small commission, which will in turn help me buy additional makeup so that I can keep bringing you guys tips and tricks. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time.